Hi guys, Dr. Ken Nordberg here again to talk to you about bear hunting. This is my last tips on bear hunting. Everything possible that you need to know about hunting bears, including trophy class boars weighing over 300 pounds, are found in my book, my latest bear hunting book, Do-It-Yourself Black Bear Baiting and Hunting, or second title is A Guide to Hunting Trophy Class Black Bears. It's all in there, along with the DVD that goes with it, which show, and one of the most important things about that DVD, it shows you exactly how to field dress a bear, which is important. I'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, but there's still things I want to emphasize. I want to imprint this in your mind. These are important. Okay, now, in my last seminar about bear hunting, I got you to the point where you finally took your shot at the bear. You're standing quartering away at the positioning bait, and you aim halfway down your side of the body, right behind the bear's last rib, right there. And you're 9 feet up, and the bear's 7 yards away, and you'll get a perfect lung heart shot every time. Both lungs will be injured, and there'll be a hole right through the bear's heart. And when you hit a bear like that, they generally, probably all of them in your lifetime that you might shoot that way, will go down within 20 yards and be dead within 10 seconds. So that's a good thing to know. But from here on, there's some more important precautions and steps to take to make sure your bear meat and your bear hide doesn't spoil, which can happen very quickly in the beginning of a bear hunting season, especially when you have unseasonably warm September, October, like we've been having for several years now. So you need to keep those in mind. You got your bear. Okay, you're sitting in your tree stand, and the bear, you hit the bear, and it went tearing up, barreling right through that brush pile behind that tree on the outside of your bait side opening, and disappeared up there a little ways ahead, and it roared like a lion 3 to 5 times, and then it was silent. Nothing moving, no sounds whatsoever. At this point, don't move. Stay in your stand for 10 minutes. Look at your watch. 10 minutes, don't move. The reason is this: at this point, after all the excitement having this bear show up, this big bear, like maybe a 450-pound boar, a huge thing. Holy cow, look at that thing, and there he is, and you shoot at it, and you finally realize that I got a bear. Well, the excitement that your body right now is loaded with adrenaline and blood sugar. Your blood is full of blood sugar, just pumped up. And because of that, you are weakened. Your thinking won't be really good. The excitement, all you're going to be thinking about is climbing down there and running over to the bear, and there it is, and oh boy, you want to shout with joy over this whole thing. And rightfully so. You know, that was a potentially dangerous animal, and you did this perfectly. There's nothing wrong. Well, anyway, don't move for 10 minutes. It'll take that long for your body to settle down. I've known lots of people, including myself, who was climbing down after shooting a bear, that lost my handhold, I slipped and fell to the ground. The first bear I ever shot, I was 15 years old. Shot it with a 30-30 rifle during a deer season. I was up in a big cedar tree. There's all kinds of branches. Cedar tree leaning against it. Great cover up there. Bear went right under me. And then came back, and when it was going away from me out in front, I shot it. Down it went. Well, I was so excited. I started out and I slipped and fell to the ground. And on the way to the ground, I got all kinds of scratches. My clothes got ripped on branches. When my Uncle Jack showed up, he was the first one that showed up. I said, well, what the hell? Did that bear attack you? You know, he looked like I'd been fighting with the bear. I was all ripped and torn and all that. Don't let that, you can actually get seriously injured during that climb to the ground right after you shoot a bear. So wait, sit back and relax. Grin and bear, you know, smile, look around. But before you do that, there's something you should do that's really important. You know, if you shoot a bear with a bow, with an arrow, or even with a gun, by that time of the year, that bear has this winter fur. And under the winter fur is this thick cottony fur. And it takes a lot of blood to get through that cottony fur to finally start falling on the ground. So initially, after you shoot the bear, if you shot him with a gun, you might see hair at the spot where you shot it, but no blood. It makes you wonder at first, holy cow, did I miss it? How could I do that? It was just right there, 21 feet away. How could I miss it? And then you think, well, maybe it's only wounded, and maybe it's dangerous. So then you wonder, what should you do, you know? Well, to eliminate that kind of a problem, the first thing when you shoot a bear is watch where it's going. See where if you're in the right place for hunting a big bear, the cover is really thick around you, and when it takes off, you probably won't even see the bear. You'll just see hazel bushes being pushed apart, grass moving, branches moving along the path where the bear is running. But he's barreling, so he's not on a trail, he's just going away as quickly as he can. And all these things are bending in his path. Watch where that's going. And remember, the last place you see evidence of that bear's flight from the spot where he was hit, like right under that big spruce tree right over there, last place. Then you heard this roaring, roar, roar. It was right over in that area, right there. You know, the last big boar I shot, I went through that, and he went down over there, and I knew it was right over there by a big popple tree. It was split, actually, two of them together, going like that, a V. So it had to be right over there somewhere. That area is thick with hazels. Oh, at that time of year, they're all covered with leaves, yeah. And it was so thick there, you almost had to swim to get through all that stuff. But what a great place to hunt a big bear. But anyway, so I remember I started off in the direction where I thought the bear was, and I waited 10 minutes. I knew a long time by that time that this is what a guy should do when you shoot a bear. So I waited, and then I got down, and now I was anxious to see the bear, and it was starting to get dark, at the end of the day. So I got to find it before it gets completely dark. Well, I wanted to. So I started off in that direction, and there was the big popple tree, getting close to it. And son of a gun, I wasn't finding the bear anywhere. So I went back to my stand. And one of the things I did, which I learned to do over the years, when you shoot a bear, get out your compass. You should always carry the compass. Get out your compass and get a bearing, a compass direction on the last spot that you know where the bear was. Get a compass bearing. Then get to the ground and hold the compass, or while you're up in a tree, you can climb up there again, but you don't have to. But look in that direction and look, well, there's a big spruce tree right there, just to the right of where that popple is. Maybe that's where the bear is. It's kind of about maybe 10 feet to the right. So, okay, I got this bearing now. I'm going to follow it. I got one of these Boy Scout compasses. You can turn the bottom and point the arrow in the direction you want to go. Okay, so keeping the arrow steady in that. So anyway, I started off in that direction, and I was getting out there and getting close to that spruce tree, and I bumped into my feet. I bumped into some log laying there, and I looked down, and I'll be damned, that was black fur. So I ended up right on top of the bear. Now, when you get to the bear, He's laying out there. No, he's a big, strong animal, and whereas they were easier to kill with a good shot than a deer. A deer, like a bear, can run up to 100, 150 yards before it goes down. Bears don't do that. I've had one do it all the years. The only one. All the rest went down within 17 yards. Okay. So, but geez, that bear still might not be dead, and you don't want to be messing with that bear. That son of a gun, a big boar, I've watched him toss my covering logs on at my bait sites like they were matchstick. Just flying out, and these were logs I could hardly lift, you know, over 100 pounds. And they got a tremendous lot of power. And you don't want to be hit by a bear with those claws. One swing like that and they can kill a moose. You hit them in the head, pow, and the moose goes down. You don't want that. So you got to be careful. And you want your wife or your girlfriend to know that you're going to be careful when you come up on this bear. So what you do when you're approaching a down bear is take a stick, maybe 3, 4, 5 feet long, arrow stick, and cut off a couple of branches. And then when you see where the bear is laying, he'll be on one side. If he's laying on his stomach and looking back to her, that's not a good sign. What much better sign is he's laying on his side and he doesn't seem to be moving. When he's laying on his stomach looking at his back trail, he could very well be alive, especially his eyes are open. In the dark, his eyes will be, you'll get those silver colored eyes, they'll be reflecting the light of your flashlight. If he's dead, you won't get that. But if you get that in the dark, damn it, that bear is, I think he's still alive. They might take a second shot. Well, if you're going, you're kind of, what do you do? Well, you might be able, if you shoot him right under the chin and his head is up, well, you'll get your arrow into his chest all right, maybe cut some major blood vessels going through his neck to his chest, which would be fatal. That might be a good thing. If you have a partner, you should almost always have a partner with you when you go to find your bear, but you'll read all about that. And one, he can hold a light while you take aim, and you're not supposed to be shooting at night, but when you're recovering a wounded bear, you got to do it. And no game warden will arrest you for that. So, anyway, let's say things are normal, and here's the bear laying on his side. Well, what you got to do with your stick, you walk around on the back side. You know, his legs are over this way. You want to be over on the other side here. And then when you get close enough to the bear's head, take your stick and touch his eye on the top. You see his eye there? Touch it and look at it. If it blinks, you're still alive. I've had bears blink. And usually in this situation, the thing to do is back off of 10 yards or so and wait for about another 10 minutes, then check again. And in every case where I've done that, I didn't blink anymore. When I was very young, one of the first deer I ever field dressed was a doe. Was still alive. I didn't know it. I flipped it over on its backside and got behind it with one hoof on this side and one hoof on this side. Got my knife and was starting to cut through the hide on its belly to open up the cavity, the blade up, and just cut the hide first and then the tissue around the balls second. But I started to do that, and when I touched that doe's belly with the tip of my knife, those legs came up and it kicked me right in the chest, and I went, I don't know, a good 15 feet through the air. Took my breath away. Didn't break anything, but I thought it maybe it broke ribs or something. But I sure learned my lesson from that. Even with deer, then I do the same thing. Come up on the backside, cut the eye. If it doesn't blink, it's dead. Now it's safe to handle. So keep that in mind. That's an important thing. Now, the next most important thing is now you got your dead bear here, and you got to field dress him. Now, think about what that bear's been eating. You know, think about this stuff with all the flies and maybe maggots running around in that bait crab of yours. Speaking of bait crab, let me stop a minute here. I received an email only yesterday from a bear hunter, or prospective bear hunter, who reminded me that it is now illegal to use a steel barrel for bear baiting in Minnesota. It wasn't before. And because of that, I devised making a crib like you learned from me, with heavy covering logs. And so you want to know what my thoughts were about that. And I said, well, that might be an efficient way to provide bait for a bear, and it probably will help keep the birds and other animals from eating a lot of bear bait over time. Expensive stuff, all the work you put into getting it, hauling it out there. But one thing about using a barrel I would miss a lot when it comes to bear hunting. One of the first things I look for after my first baiting every time I hunt, I can't wait to get to my bait site. There's something I want to see. Now, if I come there and I look, here's my bait crab with covering on. I only see one or two logs rolled off the thing, or pulled open on one side, one corner. That's a little bear that did that. Probably a sub-adult field dress probably would only weigh about 100 pounds, if that. I'm not going to waste any more bait at this bait. I always have at least two, and I've never failed. The other one has got a big bear on it, but geez, that's what a sad thing. If several logs are ruled, say it's half open logs moved aside, they're laying there right next to the bait crib, and maybe one of the logs that form one side of the bait crib even pulled aside a little bit. That's a bigger bear. It could weigh 250 pounds when you find it like that. But if you come to your bait site and those logs are tossed all over the place, and even the crib logs are all over the place, and which is kind of amazing because I have watched big bears do that at a bait site. And before I used positioning bait, I had to sit and wait to move because the bear could see me, and I had to wait, and he just swapped those around and they fly away over there like nothing. And it took me and sometimes one of my sons to lift the log and put it on that bait crib. That is amazing power. So when I come to a bait site where the logs are like that, then I start wondering, I wonder if I really ought to hunt this bear with 2 sticks and a string, archery gear. This is this is going to be a big bear. I love the excitement of seeing. You got a bait bear. You got your bait in the barrel. You just don't see it. I like my 6-foot logs. Barrels aren't that long, most of them, and I like that 6-foot thing there. So when I see that bear walk by there, and oh hell, he's 6 foot long, or almost, or even a few inches longer, I know that's a big bear. If it's the barrel, you'd be thinking, wow, it's got to be maybe 2 feet longer, and in an excitement thing, you might not be real accurate about that. So I like that 6-foot logs. It took me years to get to the point where this was my way of doing it. So I would, if I was going to go out there and hunt bear this fall, I would still make a bait crib. And the way I like to do it, put positioning bait over there, everything like that. But anyway, that's my feelings about it. Well, back to the bear. You find everything you need to know about how to field dress a bear properly. But one of the things, then you have to do it properly because you don't want that stuff that bear has been eating to leak out into its body cavity and get on the meat that you're planning to eat, because that'll sure affect the flavor of your meat. I mean, if you bought a nice T-bone steak and you brought it home and you went out to the garbage can and swished it around that garbage in there before you cooked it, you wouldn't don't like the flavor of that steak either. So you got to do it properly. But that DVD that comes with the book, in this DVD, I field dress the first bear taken by my grandson Tyler. It's not the biggest bear in the world, but it was, like for most of my kids, whatever size it was, this was really an exciting experience. But I show you how to do it properly so you don't ruin the meat of your bear with stomach contest. That starts, of course, with accurate shooting, and sometimes that can be really hard when you're experiencing the excitement of seeing this huge bear, but you got to get a hold of yourself. And a lot of practice that makes you think, I can shoot this bear perfectly, is what you need. So you need a lot of practice. Shooting from a sitting position at a target 21 feet away up in the tree stand. So anyway, you'll find that in here. That's important. But I just wanted to tell you, that is damn important. Okay, next thing that's really important is getting that bear cooled as quickly as you can. Now, there's a lot of bear hunting, and it's pretty warm out there. I've been fortunate to have somewhere up in northern Minnesota by the Canadian border. It was in the 40s that night, but that's becoming less common during early bear hunting seasons. So you've got to make arrangements to get that bear into a cooler, where at a local area, a shop where they butcher big game like deer. Deer places do that. They'll take care of bears as well. My favorite one is, it would be, let's see, 1836, about 40 miles from where I shoot the bear, is where, and I call them up, talk to them, or stop there on the way up, talk to them, and tell them I'll probably be coming in 10 o'clock in the evening at night. And they'll leave the door to the cooler open, and it's on a rail, and they got hooks, everything you need to hang the bear up, usually by the bone that goes through their pubic bone. That's a safe one. You can put a chain around that, hook it up, crank it up there. It looks funny hanging there with his hind legs hanging downward, but it's a very efficient way to get a bear hung up in the cooler. They can move in the cooler, close the door, and go home. And that guy will skin that bear very well for a rug or Walmart or whatever you want about. And I don't have to worry about it. Go back there later, all frozen, packaged, labeled, pick up my bear and my hide, take the hide to the taxidermist. Makes it very easy. So make arrangements for that ahead of time so you can do the same thing. Sometimes things don't work out, and at the last resort, I've done this too. I had a screen tent, and just for this, bring it out to the bear, set it up over the bear, tarp on the ground, get the bear on the tarp, so it's nice and clean way, hang a lantern up, no mosquitoes, and skin the bear. And there. And how to skin a bear properly, that's covered in the book as well. But anyway, skin the bear, and then cut it into chunks, put the chunks in plastic bags, and put the bag in coolers with ice, half full of ice. If you do that, then you're okay for 24 hours. And you can go to bed and go to sleep. Next morning, haul your bear to the butcher to be butchered. Put your hide in there. The hide can spoil very quickly too if you don't get it cooled soon enough. Even after you have a rug made, sometime later, all the hair will start falling off of it. So you don't want that to happen. Meat will spoil, especially in the shoulders. And spoiled bear meat doesn't taste good. Unspoiled bear meat is the best tasting wild meat there is. Honestly, it's so good. But anyway, you got to get that bear cool. You field dress it. I like to hang it up. I got a come along, I put tie a pulley up in a tree up there, or maybe 15 feet up in a tree, and run a rope up there and bring it down and put it through that, under that pubic bone, tie it, and then get the handle on that come along is tied to another tree alongside. Start cranking, and the bear right up there off the ground, and then put pointed sticks about, 10, 12 inches long to hold that stomach area wide open so air can circulate up in there. So anyway, another thing too, if you don't do that, and it might take you an hour to get to where you're going to bring the bear, you might throw a couple sacks of ice inside the body cavity. That'll help get it cooled down too while you're getting to that butcher. So that's important, very important. Another thing that's important, if you're hunting a big bear, and gee, you know, the first time you went out there was logs thrown out, you know he's going to be 300 pounds, 400 pounds, maybe 500 pounds or more. You're going to need help getting that bear out of the woods. But in either case, and you read about this too, after you field dress the bear, give it a while to cool down a little bit. I like to roll them in a plastic tarp and tie the ends like a Tootsie Roll, then roll them onto a big plastic toboggan, lace them down so they won't fall off, and then you'll need 1 or 2 hunters per 100 pounds of bear. It takes, you know, you can take a 200-pound buck and lay it next to a 200-pound bear, and you start hauling either one. For some damn reason, that bear is a lot heavier, a lot harder to pull than the buck. It's less streamlined. There's more bear on the ground than on the deer. So it's, you know, and besides that, the ground is not frozen and it's not covered with snow and things like that. But so it takes more guys to haul a big bear than you realize. So yeah, get your neighbors, your sons, your friends, people. When you know you're going to get a big bear, get some help to haul that thing out of the woods. Don't count on being able to use an ATV to get there. If you got an ATV trail all the way to your stand site, you aren't going to get that bear. You got to forget about that. And if you made one that would be wide enough for an ATV, or one exists like that, other people with ATVs are going to come visit your bear site while you're not there every time. You see those ATV tracks? Oh, let's go see what's going out there. They're going to ruin it for you so the bear won't come in during legal shooting hours anymore, if at all. So that's not right. No matter what you do, if you're going to hunt big bears, you're going to end up having to haul that thing out, drag it out, instead of putting it on an ATV or on a trailer or something like that and bringing it out. You can bring little bears out that way and do that kind of stuff. But if you want a big bear, that's not the way to plan to do things. You got to have helpers. Bring them up there, buy them a case of beer in the evening or in the afternoon before you go out there. Here, you guys, enjoy yourself, play cards, play cribbage, all that. When you hear me shoot, then you know what to do. Or when you see me coming back with my light, as bow hunter, I'm not shooting. You know what to do. We're going to get that toboggan ready, that tarp, the ropes. Now, the rope on your toboggan should be a long one with loops in it, tied loops in it. And then when you're hauling that bear out of the woods, each guy should be on the same side as the rope. Because when you come to on a corner, you all want to be on the same side if you're on the opposite side. Somebody's always getting pinned against a tree or a boulder or something when you're going by. You don't want that to happen. So anyway, get that out there fast. You'll be able to get it onto your trailer or on the back of your pickup and get it to the butcher as quick as you can. So keep that in mind. Okay. So now the bear is safely put away. I'm not going to tell you about how to cook bears. You'll find that in the book as well. But these other things, I wanted to make an impression on you. They're really important when you're hunting big bears. And don't forget them. Don't just get stuck out there all by yourself with a 400-pound bear. Holy cow. That almost guarantees you're going to lose it. The meat and the hide and everything like that. And you know, there are a lot of bears in the world, but not anywhere near, not even close to being the number of deer there are in the world. It is not a good thing to be wasting bears, especially trophy class bears. No, sir. So plan on that. Prepare for it every time. Now, with that, I wish you the best of luck bear hunting. I've had some letters from guys who say, geez, that sounds like fun. I'll have to put that on my bucket list. It's great. I'm glad to hear things like that. I'm also glad to have all you guys watching my YouTube presentations, my little seminar, fireplace seminar. One of these days you'll see some in the woods seminars. We'll be adding those fairly soon. But anyway, I really appreciate that. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube program. And if you like what you're hearing and learning, and you'll learn it nowhere else that I know of, give me a thumbs up. You know, there's a thumb things down there. Give me a thumbs up, would you please? I really appreciate it. And with that, I wish you the best of bear hunting in the future. Thank you for watching. Be sure to visit my website. Here's the link. Here you'll find links to my blog posts, my Twitter account, my YouTube account, my Amazon store with links to my ebooks, my son's eBay store, a money saver if you're ordering from Canada or other countries. And be sure to sign up for my email updates. Here you will also find deer and bear hunting articles, my website bookstore, and much more.